Like many other places around the world, the Somerset coastline is at risk of coastal flooding, with global sea levels projected to rise by up to 50 centimetres by the year 2100. It's important that geographers and town planners work together to address the challenges affecting this low-lying coast.
The main natural defence for this coastline are these sand dunes. Healthy sand dunes like these provide effective protection from the sea, but they have to be carefully managed in order to keep them healthy. Sand dunes are built and maintained with sand that blows up off the beach and builds up here above the high water mark. As the sand blows off the beach, it blows into the dune, and vegetation that colonises the dunes, like this marram grass, slows the wind down, causing the sand to be deposited. Marram grass is a very, very hardy plant, adapted to living within these harsh conditions. Poor soils with very little organic matter, being battered by the wind and constant burial by sand. Marram grass can survive with up to 1 metre of burial by sand blown up from the beach every single year. Recent storms have eroded this dune face, and the marram grass is already starting to recolonise and restabilise this damaged area. Marram grass is well adjusted to life on the dunes.
But non-native and invasive species are not so well adapted. Like this sea buckthorn that was introduced from Scandinavia at the end of the 19th century. And after over 100 years, it now grows thickly over the sand dunes. Now, the sea buckthorn grows taller than the marram grass, and it shades this natural dune vegetation, preventing it from growing, and unfortunately, the marram grass dies out. So the sea buckthorn completely takes over the sand dunes, and this becomes a problem after big storms, when the wind and the waves undermine the roots of the sea buckthorn, killing the plant, and it then takes it a long time to recolonise the dune. This section of the dune was damaged several years ago by strong storm winds and waves, and even today we can see it's still covered with the remains of dead sea buckthorn. The plant's taking a long time to recolonise this section of the dune, but the marram grass recolonises much more quickly, and it's actually starting to restabilise this damaged area of the sand dune. So to maintain healthy sand dunes, the invasive species has to be removed mechanically, literally dug out of the ground, allowing these native species of dune vegetation to recover and maintaining healthy sand dunes that protect the coastline.
Sand dunes are vulnerable along coastal footpaths like this, where constant trampling has killed off the vegetation. And during high winds, this is what can happen. This is a blowout. And during recent storms, huge volumes of sand have been blown inland and lost from the dune system. Although footpaths and roads like this are a convenient way to access the beach, they do create a weak point in the thin and natural barrier provided by the dunes. So you can imagine that during a storm surge, water levels would be high on the beach, and big, powerful waves could push through this gap, flooding the low-lying land behind.
Prevailing winds on this coastline come from the west. So when the wind blows, walkways effectively create wind tunnels and the sand is blown inland. Unlike sand blown out to sea, which washes back onto the shore, for sand blown inland, there is no natural process to bring it back to the beach, and it is lost from the dune system forever. These kinds of problems can be prevented with some low-cost management. Footpaths can be rerouted and boardwalks can be built through the dunes to prevent trampling of the vegetation and erosion of deep hollows like this.
And fencing like this is used to help trap sand. The fencing holds behind it branches of dead, cut-down sea buckthorn. And as the wind passes through, it's slowed and deposits its sand, gradually resulting in the build-up of this new dune. In just a few years, this huge pile of sand has built up and has been colonised by natural dune vegetation, all as a result of this low-cost dune management approach. This fencing and thatching is effective, and it only costs between £4 and £20 per metre.
This kind of approach to careful sand dune management is an effective and low-cost way to maintain the natural protection of the coastline.